A little boy runs away from his house to fulfill his dream of becoming a star soccer player. Will he be able to overcome the hurdles and make his dream come true? Stay tuned to find out. The movie begins with a young boy named Bandian who lives in the slums with his family in a village named Makono in Africa. Bandian narrates that when he was born, Sarah the sorcerer told his father that he had been chosen by God. His father doesn't believe Sarah, thinking of him as a crazy old man, but Sarah has a strong belief that Bandian will become a great soccer player one day. As Bandian is done narrating, the scene shows the villagers including his father and brother praying in a group, while there is a football match commentary playing on the radio placed nearby. Bandian is listening to the commentary very intently when his friends call him to help them push a sheep to where the locals are conducting the sacrifice for the prosperity of the village. He quickly goes to help them and runs back to keep listening to the commentary. As they announce the last goal, with Africa winning the match, the kids start running around, happily cheering. The next morning, Bandian gets up early, and after waking up his brother Kanamati goes to his sick mother and asks her if she is okay. She assures him that she is feeling well and then asks him to get ready as it is time for him to go to school. After talking to his mother, he walks out of his house with his brother, and they go to gather the deadwood in the bushes. Bandian has planned to collect the deadwood so they can sell it to collect money to buy a new football. After collecting the wood, they push the cart together and go to a nearby market, where they sell the wood, and are left with 400 Guinean francs after paying the rent for the cart. After getting the money, they run towards their school and reach there after the teacher has already started her lesson. When school is over, Bandian and his friends plan to meet Sarah, the witch doctor of Makono, to get a talisman for Bandian. But before that, they steal a chicken from blacksmith's house to pay for Sarah's talisman. After reaching Sarah's place, they sit in a room where he massages Bandian while chanting something. In the meantime, a boy referred to as Radio Kankan provides live commentary about the situation until Sarah asks the kids to be quiet. After Sarah finished his prayers, he gives Bandian a talisman, saying that this is his lucky charm. He has to take it everywhere, and it will help him score during any match. Bandian leaves with his friends while Sarah moves toward other children who also brought chickens as a price. He goes back home after playing a soccer match with his friends on the street using a football made of cloth. While walking back home, he narrates that in Africa, men often have many wives, but his father only has two because he is poor. His mother Dain is the first wife of his father, while the second wife of his father is Connie, who is Kanamati's mother and also a very mean woman. As Bandian and Kanamati reach home, Connie approaches them and asks her son for the money, but Kanamati sneakily gives money to Bandian and tells his mother that he doesn't have any money with him. At his home, Bandian spends this time counting the money they collected and feeding his mother dinner. The next morning, he goes to meet the village doctor, Mrs. Aspirin, who is a very kind-hearted woman. She spots him standing by a pillar and asks why he came here. She asks him to follow her, but he doesn't move. She comes near him and asks about his mother. Bandian tells her that his mother is still coughing and wants to come here, but his father only wants Sarah to treat her. Aspirin assures him that they will find a way to treat his mother. Bandian says that he has money that he collected to buy a soccer ball, and they can use it to treat his mother, but the doctor tells him that the treatment is free. She then gives him some medicine and asks him to tell his father that she can't treat his mother without seeing her. After taking the medicine, Bandian gives her money, asking her to keep it safe for him as his stepmother wants to take it from them. She takes the money from him, promising to keep it safe for him until he needs it. Meanwhile, Sarah meets Musa, Bandian's father, who is worried about his crops not harvesting well due to the lack of rain. Sarah assures Musa that it will all be over once his son becomes a soccer star. Musa says that he shouldn't believe what kids say, but Sarah says that the world is changing and soccer money can help them change their lifestyle. Just then a ball comes flying at them, with Bandian and other children running behind it. As Musa discusses football with Sarah, Connie calls Bandian and his brother to help her pick up tomatoes. The scene changes to Bandian walking on a field when his friends call him to join them on the tree. He goes to his friends, who are looking at a football magazine. They all look at the footballs and ask Bandian if he wants an Adidas football. Bandian says that they will buy a Pele one and asks them how much it costs. His friends tell him that it costs 699 francs, which means it is worth double the amount in Guinean currency. They count the money they have according to a new calculation and then plan to go buy a football. They go to a local market to buy a leather football but can't find one as the sellers only have plastic footballs. Also, they meet a bicycle mechanic who tells them that they can buy a real football from Kankan, which he can order for them, but they need 80,000 Guinean francs for that. Kids are devastated to hear the price and dejectedly start to walk back as Bandian thinks that he will never be able to buy a ball. The next day, when Bandian is walking back home after school, Dr. Aspirin stops in her car near him. When he goes to meet her, she gives him an old football, saying that it is used but will work for him. He excitedly takes the ball and runs back home after thanking her, and with the help of his brother and friends, he paints the ball golden. All the children then run out, playing with the new football Bandian got. In the meantime, Sarah is sitting with the blacksmith, who complains about his chickens disappearing continuously. As they are talking, the kids playing nearby finish their match, and the commentary boy, Radio Kankan, comes to them to get their opinion. Sarah tells him to go away, scolding him for having no respect for the elders. Blacksmith also joins Sarah in scolding the child, but before he could complete his sentence, the football comes flying at him and hits him in the face. The football then rolls out on the ground, hitting a candle nearby that causes the blacksmith's hut to catch fire. Connie, who is passing by, quickly comes there and says that Bandian was the one who hit him and accuses him of wanting to kill the blacksmith. She then tells Bandian that his father will scold him for stealing the ball, but Kanamari interrupts, saying that Bandian got the football as a gift from Aspirin. Connie asks her son to be quiet and starts to drag Bandian inside the house, snatches his football, and locks it in a room. Connie says that she will tell Musa about the accident and he will slash his football. Bandian doesn't listen to her and kicks the door open, then runs away with his football, ignoring the shouts of his stepmother. As Connie continues to yell insults at Bandian even after he runs away, his mother Diane comes out and tells Connie to leave his son alone. They start arguing, and just then Musa comes there with a group of villagers and kicks Connie out of his house for being disrespectful. They then start to look for Bandian, and seeing this, Kanamari runs to where Bandian is hiding. When he reaches Bandian, he warns him that they are looking for him and that he shouldn't come back if he wants to stay safe. Bandian spent the day hiding in a tree and goes to the hospital at night thinking that if he goes back, his father will kill him, so he decides to run away. At the hospital, he meets Aspirin and asks her for his money, saying that he wants to buy a gift for his father. She brings him his money and he leaves after telling her that she has to take care of his mother. Bandian then hitchhikes on a tractor, which takes him out of town. While traveling on the tractor, the driver asks him to run small errands for him. After a while, the tractor breaks down, and the driver tells Bandian to take care of his vehicle while he goes into town to bring spare parts. Bandian waits there for the man's return, but the day turns into the night without any sign of the tractor's driver. Bandian gets scared by the animal voices and hides inside the tractor, where he falls asleep. The next morning, he is awakened by the horn of another local truck passing by the road. He quickly gets off the tractor, stops the local truck, and requests a ride, which they easily accept. After traveling for a while, the truck stops in a busy town, and the driver asks him to get down, saying that this place called Kisudugu is their last stop. With his ball in his hand, he starts walking in the market when a man, in referee clothes, comes running up to him and asks for his ball, saying that they are in the middle of a game and their ball is damaged. Bandian refuses to hand over his football at first, but when the boy insists, he says that he will give it to them only if they let him play. After some hesitation, the man takes Bandian with him, quickly gives a red card to a player, and lets Bandian play in the game. Bandian plays a very good game, scoring back-to-back goals without noticing that someone is recording him. His game comes to an end when the tractor driver from the other night comes there, looking for him as he abandoned his vehicle. Bandian starts running and luckily spots Dr. Aspirin's car standing nearby. He quickly gets in the car and asks her to drive away. She is surprised to see Bandian and asks him where he was as people have been looking for him for 2 days back in Makono. Instead of answering her, Bandian notices the people approaching them, so he asks her to drive away. She starts driving at his request, and he tells her why he left the village. Aspirin says that his father won't harm him, and now that his rage has subsided, she will take him back. Bandian still doesn't want to go back, so he asks her to take him to a nearby town called Conakry, saying he has family there. Aspirin reluctantly agrees with him, and starts driving again while he falls asleep in the back seat of the car. He has been asleep for a while when Aspirin wakes him up, as they have reached their destination. After he gets off the car, he says that he wants to go find his sister, Fanta. Aspirin lets him go with a promise to reunite with him on Sunday, and she will take him back then. Bandian takes the help of a local guy and goes to a nearby building, where he finds his sister Fanta. She is surprised to see him and asks why he came here, worried that he might have brought bad news. After finding out what happened, Fanta tells him that he has to go back because their father must be worried about him. Bandian says that he will go back with Aspirin, as he promised, and just wants to stay here for a few days. Fanta still refuses to let him stay here, telling him that it is not her house and that she is also living with a friend. Just then a girl approaches them and tells Fanta that Bandian can stay at Bangura's apprentices. The scene changes to Bandian traveling in a car with an old man named Bangura, who asks him if he wants to work. When Bandian gives a positive answer, the man demands some money for the gas, claiming that Bandian will get it back with his first pay. Bandian reluctantly gives him some money and asks what kind of work he will do, to which the man only replies that he will find out about it in the morning. After a while, they reach a house, where the man calls a boy named Fode and asks him to take care of Bandian. The next morning, Fode wakes Bandian up, asking him to hurry before all the horns are gone. Bandian is confused by this, but when they reach the beach after crossing a slaughterhouse, he finds that Fode was talking about cow horns. He finds out that Bangura makes lamps and other things with these horns and sells them to tourists for a high price. He also finds that there are a lot of other boys who are working for Bangura. For the next few days, Fode and the other boys start to bully Bandian by making fun of him and even pushing him around. One day he is playing with his football when they force him to drink vodka and then throw his ball into a nearby house. Bandian tries to take his football back, but the owner of the house refuses to give it back, and as he tries to climb the wall, his hand gets cut on a piece of broken glass. In this whole ordeal, the only person who is beside him is a dwarf man named Bubba. Bubba also works for Bangura. Heartbroken by this incident, Bandian goes to find Aspirin at the hotel she went to when they first came here, but they can't find her as the receptionist tells him that everyone here is called Aspirin. When he comes out downheartedly, Bubba says that they should go back, but Bandian refuses by saying that he doesn't want to see Fode again. Bandian says that he will just stay here, but Bubba tells him that it is dangerous and then takes him to a place called New Site de Chemins de Fair, which is the home for lost kids. The next morning, they both see a well-off lady struggling as a lot of kids surround her, wanting to help her carry his bags. Bubba comes there and offers to help the woman while also kicking away all the children. He takes her bags and hands some to Bandian, and as soon as she turns away, they both run away with her stuff. After After running for a while, they reach a place where a security guard is stopping all the children from going to the other side of the place where a football match is being held at the stadium. They give the security guard the bags they stole from the woman as a bribe, and in return, he lets them through the wall. On the other side, everyone is climbing a big tower to watch the match, so both of them also climb the tower. Bandian is very excited to be able to watch the match and tells Bubba about the players he is familiar with. During the game, a player kicks the ball very high, and it drops on the roof of the stadium right in front of them. Bandian jumps off the tower without thinking and luckily lands safely on the roof. He then starts to play with the ball, ignoring the shouts of everyone on the ground to return the ball. He continues juggling it without noticing the security guards approaching him. The security guards take Bandian and a bunch of other children who were watching the match through the tower, including Bubba, into custody. When they are in the cell, Bandian continues to make noise, asking them to let him go, but nobody listens to him. Some older people in the cell asked him to be quiet, so he goes to sit with Bubba, who tells him not to worry, saying that they will let people out in the morning. The next morning, Aspirin is seen at the hotel, asking the hotel staff to tell Bandian to wait if he comes here as she has some errands to run. Meanwhile, in the station, Bandian is bailed out by a man named Bichir, who pretends to be Bandian's boss. Bandian doesn't know the man, but he says that Bubba is his brother, and they must let him out too, so Bichir bails both of them out. As they come out of the station, Bandian says that he has to meet someone at night, but the man tells him that it is way past 9, and he missed his chance. They then get into Bichir's new Mercedes, and he brings them to his workplace, a fishmonger video store. Bichir takes them to an office, where he shows them a video of Bandian from the time he played the football match with the older boys in Kisadagu. Bichir then asks him how he learned to play like this, to which Bubba quickly replies that he is from a village called Makono and learned to play by himself. Bichir points out that only Bandian is from Makono, as they said they are brothers. Bandian quickly tries to make excuses, but Bichir says that he knows they are lying, so they don't need to worry about that. He then shows them a video of a real football match, but the light goes out in the middle of it. As Bichir goes out to scold his workers, Bandian takes a nap there on the bench at Bubba's suggestion. In the meantime, Aspirin is searching for him and goes to Fanta's place. After realizing that they both don't know where Bandian is, they go to search for him together. Back at the fish store, Bichir continues to shout at his workers for being lazy. He then tells Bubba to wake Bandian up and orders them to help his workers. They are working in the store when Fode comes there and tells Bandian that his friend and sister are looking for him. The thought of seeing Mrs. Aspirin again excites him. Later on, they take a truck from the store to go take his football back by scaring the old man, then go back to the store where Aspirin and Fanta are waiting for him. Bandian tells Aspirin that he doesn't want to go back because he wants to stay here and train to be a soccer player. Aspirin reminds him of his promise and says that she needs to take him back. Seeing this situation, Bubba comes to help his friend, saying that Conakry has a great team and Bandian will never get a chance like this in his village. Bichir, who had joined them in the meantime and was overhearing their discussion, comes forward and says that Bandian is a courageous and determined child. He says that he can introduce Bandian to his friend Kareem, who is a soccer coach. After listening to this, Bandian happily runs to Bubba, who is standing nearby, and tells him that he knows Kareem. After Bandian left, Aspirin told Bichir that she would take Bandian back and that he is not going to soccer school. Fanta interrupts her, saying that it is a golden opportunity one can get in Africa, so she can't let her brother go back. Aspirin walks out, saying that she didn't know if her giving Bandian a ball will take it this far. Bandian, who is talking to Bubba standing nearby, follows her and attempts to give the football back, but she refuses to say that she doesn't take gifts back. He then reminds her of the promise to take care of his mother, and she assures him that she will treat her. A few days pass and Bandian goes to meet Kareem, where he has to give a trial. Bandian struggles at first due to his shoes, but then he decides to take off his shoes and successfully scores a goal in the penalty kicks. Because of his excellent performance, Bandian is selected after the trial, and he joins the soccer school. At school, he practices at every chance he gets, which results in him being the target of bullying by the star player named Teray and the team. In the coming days, they won't let him eat, and during practice and games, they don't pass him the ball. Kareem notices this behavior after a few days and says that he can't tolerate this behavior, so if they want to stay in the school, they have to accept Bandian as their new teammate. One day, Bandian is seen cleaning his shoes when Bubba comes to meet him. He asks Bandian how he is doing, and Bandian tells him about the behavior of his teammate. Bubba assures him that it will all be good, and that his teammates are just jealous of him. It's been 6 months since Bandian joined the team, and everyone except Teray now treats him well. They are in a running session when Bichir meets Kareem and tells him that he should contact some academies in Europe to sell his talented players. Kareem refuses to accept his offer and says that he is training his students to play for Africa. After coming back to school, Kareem is teaching his students about different football techniques and asks them a question. Bandian quickly answers the questions correctly, earning praise from Kareem. As soon as Kareem turns back towards the board, Teray whispers to Bandian that he shouldn't get his hopes up as he will never get to wear the 10-number jersey. After the class, Bandian challenges Teray to a duel, saying that whoever can juggle the ball for the longest will be crowned champion, and Teray accepts the challenge. They start to play and after a long match, Bandian wins the match and cheers happily. Just when he is celebrating, Kareem comes there and scolds him. Kareem then tells Bandian that he will stay on the bench for a year and not play in their match against the Coasters. After the incident, Bandian meets Bubba and tells him that he wants to go back to his village. Bubba advises him to not give up and reminds him that he should think about the people who trust him to be successful, and he shouldn't miss such an opportunity. On the day of their match against the Coasters, Bichir pays someone from the opposite team to get Teray out of the match as soon as possible by tackling him. Meanwhile, in his village, everyone is listening to the match on the radio, excited to hear Bandian's name on air. As soon as the match starts, the opposite team starts to attack Teray, and after some initial tries, they injure him so he has to sit outside, just as planned. After Teray is out, Bandian gets to play in the match and shows a great performance, which leads to his team winning the match. A year later, an envelope arrives at Bichir's store, whereas Bubba, who still works for him, hands him over the document. After reading what's inside, Bichir immediately leaves and goes to visit Kareem. Turns out, the Saint-Étienne Sports Association of France wants to train Bandian for 5 years including all the expenses. In other words, it is the perfect opportunity for Bandian to play against the best soccer players in Europe. Yet again, Kareem freaks out and tells him to focus on his fish business instead of football. Kareem says that Bandian is very young, but Bichir is determined to send Bandian to Europe, as he says that it will secure his future. Kareem tries to scare him by saying that Bandian's village will curse him if he tries to send him without his father's permission, but Bichir has already made up his mind, so he goes to Bandian's village to convince Bandian's father. There, Bichir, with the help of Fanta and Aspirin, tries to convince Musa to let Bandian go to Europe. Musa replies to them that he wishes Bandian to stay in the village, but if it is not possible, it doesn't matter if he is in France or Africa. After getting permission and blessings from his father, Bandian goes to France alone and easily gets past the airport while pretending to be 16. After reaching France, he takes a taxi, which takes him to the stadium. This is the end of the recap. What lengths are you willing to go to fulfill your dreams? Do you agree with Bandian's decision to go to another continent to fulfill his dream? Please let us know your opinion in the comments, and make sure to subscribe and press the bell icon so you won't miss more exciting movie recaps.